What's up, FMA Nation of the world? This is your lovely Marya Dela Torre, your host, from one of the 7,641 islands in the Philippines. And welcome to the first ever episode of This Side of the Blade, brought to you by FMA Connects. This Side of the Blade is a video podcast dedicated to Filipino martial arts from a women's perspective. We believe in the strength, resilience, and beauty that women bring to the practice of Filipino martial arts. And we want to share that with the FMA community. We'll share stories, experiences, and maybe even the occasional blooper, all in the spirit of celebrating our love for Filipino martial arts. Because we believe that together, we can forge a community that celebrates the strength, grace, and indomitable spirit of men and women in Filipino martial arts. So, I am so excited for today's episode because, syempre, we started with something that everyone can relate to. It's entitled Let's introduce the first couple. They have been together as husband and wife for 23 years. Oh my gosh. Tuhon J. Bataclan and Lalaine Bataclan. Hello po.
Magandang hapon and magandang umaga. And ako po si Jay Bataclan. I am with Torre, Cali, Pilipinas. And I was given a rank of Tuhon.
And I'm Lalaine Bataclan, also with Pikititi Kali, Pilipinas. And I've been practicing for
6.5
6.5 years. Sorry.
All right, thank you so much, the Bataclans. Okay, give them some I like that heart. Give them some shout outs on our comment section, please. Lots of love, lots of hearts. Okay. How did you and Mom Lalaine got involved in Filipino martial arts? Can you share a brief story of how it began?
Sige. I've been with Filipino martial arts for the past 30 plus years. Ano eh, I'm one of those Luneta boys as well. With Tatang Tony, Lustrisimo, Tatay Jomena, Tatay Andy Abrian. These are very good mentors that started me off. Kasama sina Sensei Ernie Talag. Doon na kami nagkita. Pinakilala ko ni Tatang Tony. So my first martial arts was really Filipino martial arts. And as time passed, I tried to communicate with the Grand Tuhon, Leo Gahe, and then there was a response. So after responding, Jay, I am here in we could meet for breakfast in ganun.
Uy.
On the same building of where I was working. So
Fate.
no. And then afterwards, the whole day, di na ako nakapasok. Oo. And we visit. And he became a mentor of mine. So that was my Filipino martial arts track.
Journey.
Oo. And it still is ongoing with a lot of great and wonderful teachers. Ang Lalaine, 6 years ago, we're 23 years married. 6 years ago, though she knows and have met a lot of practitioners ng Pikititir siya pag bumibisita sila sa bahay, when Grand Tuhon stays with us as well, pag may mga panahon na gano'n. She ably hosts us naman din. Very supportive. Until 6 years ago, there was an event dito sa Makati sa Century City, a big event for 1 PTK for Grand Tuhon. Um, Nauna pa siya dumating do sa venue to meet everybody. Kami with together with Tuhon Miki, kasama namin si Grand Tuhon. We didn't realize 150 plus practitioners all
Wow.
under one roof na andun. Ang saya, ang saya, and Lalaine was there to support, basically to support until she saw ano, actually she was nahila siya. Nahila siya.
Nabully.
Hindi nabully. No, no, no. Ano yan?
I was
Nahila siya.
there just to meet some acquaintances,
Oh,
chika-chika
Okay.
lang.
chika lang. Oh.
But then, yung mga women practitioners, sinila ko
Ang
to
dami
join
nila.
the training.
Oh.
Yeah, and there were so many women practitioners. So, I felt there's a community na I'll be comfortable. Kasi di ba,
Right.
usually, martial arts. Before PTK, I was practicing taekwondo.
Kaya sa black belt in Taekwondo.
Wow.
Ano yun?
But, no, stop it na.
Oh.
Kasi super tagal na nun.
Hindi, pero seriously, when, ano yan, she entered into a competition. Anong tawag doon? Sige, sige na.
Face of the
Face of the
year,
year.
but that was so long ago.
So those in
Yeah.
Taekwondo, she was face of the year on that weight division.
But when
Proud.
But when I joined the seminar with GT and with all the women, kasi I thought PTK was more for men kasi puro knife, puro ganyan.
Right, right.
So when I saw all the women and I felt comfortable. So that's the start of it all, and the rest is history. I'm now part of the community.
And GT was technically her first mentor.
Yeah, my first
Sure.
sure.
So,
Wow. From
we're
Grand
grateful for that.
Tuhon.
Very generous on GT. Oh.
That's nice.
So yeah, that's
That's how we
it.
got involved in.
Okay, that's cool. All right. As a couple, what challenges have you faced while training in Filipino martial arts, and how were you able to overcome them?
I can't remember anything major. As there's this community in PTK Katipunan naman na talagang supportive. So there's really no challenges. But I guess the only thing I remember is time. Time for me to train. Since I work Monday to Friday, office hours, so I can only train in the evening. Tas on weekends naman, I also train. But on off kasi weekend, that's the only time we get to rest, di ba? But I think that's all I can remember. The training schedule.
Training schedule. Pero ano, the opportunity blossomed to train further nung pandemic because
Oh yeah,
ano yan,
work from home.
Work from home,
work
yeah.
from home. We're at the pleasure of we have the time for ourselves and the best time for us. Dahil the mindset of Pikititira is we believe in life, we believe in good health, we believe in success. Ano, these are part and parcel of the philosophy of the system na we need to stay true and walk the talk dahil if alam natin na pandemya, alam natin that there is a virus and we need to take care of ourselves more than ever. So the time to practice, the time to train together, push boundaries, limitations, was evident. And Katipunan as a community, ano yan, has decided to reach out via Zoom. I believe we were one of the first ones to provide weekly training for free to all members and friends of Katipunan during that time. So, yan yung mga, I think it strengthened the resolve for training. No?
We
So
get
you
to train.
turn the problem into something fruitful, diba? So I like that. I really love it. I'm curious, how were you able to overcome the time problem, Ma'am Lalaine?
Up to now, hindi pa rin masyado. But,
Pero is putting up structure.
yeah.
Oo. So, ano yan, we need to commit on a certain time that we need to promise ourselves that this is a time for us to train. And then, ano yan, loosely, we, we work on that kind of structure. Pwede, halika meron, it's our time together, dun sa ano. So, yun. Oh. Minsan
Yeah.
siya pa ang nagsasabi, ba't di ka titrade? Bakit ano, merong ganyan. Oo. Tapos, we need to push each other.
Each other, yeah.
So,
Yeah.
that helps sa motivation because merong ano kung solo ka lang minsan, wala na, di ba? Oo, bibigay ang barangay, di ba?
Tsaka minsan even before sleeping, di ba?
Oo.
Training lang ng knife.
Oo.
Nasa bed kami, training ng knife.
Oh, that's so cool! Oh my gosh!
Yeah, so, ano lang, you just need to find
points.
find ways to,
Find
kahit na
ways.
short time lang to train. Kasi, di ba, sabi nga nila, if kung gusto mo, you will really find time.
Oo. May paraan.
Yeah.
May paraan.
Gusto, may paraan.
oo.
Pag ayaw, parating may
Maraming dahilan. So true. But I think the important thing that I got from that response was really to find time to train and then just to create a schedule that has the training on our schedule because everyone's busy and we cannot give that as an excuse that we're not progressing with our training. It's really all about putting yourself, putting a time on your calendar, putting a time on your everyday um, habit to do the training. And like you said, that was so sweet. Training knife in bed. Hashtag sana all.
ano lang, fine points naman, ikaw naman.
I
Pero,
like it.
pero ano, the time spent doesn't just, it cuts across, not just in training.
Ito, sa tabi ng bed namin.
Mga bedside,
Bedside. Yeah.
arms.
So, now in what ways has Filipino martial arts influenced your everyday life and interactions as couple? Can you give me some examples? Let's start with you, 200.
Andali. The practice itself, if you try to check it, we start off with the salutation. Pikititir siya kalikatipunan. We always start training and end it with the salutation. And loosely, we say it in Tagalog. Oh. So, ang hiling ko ay karunungan, ang alay ko ay paggalang, ako ay tapat, ako ay gumaganap, di ba? All of this becomes synonymous to the English version na I seek for knowledge, I give my respect, I give my loyalty, I am ready. And instead of, yun nga, sa loosely, sa English, it's I execute. Sa amin sa Katipunan, ako ay gumaganap. So we are becoming. We are in the process of becoming. And this has been, personally, this has been a social contract for us between kami as practitioners, us to the system, us to our teachers, and us to the greater community. So, pag sinabing it forms a commitment. So, early on, it may be a very subtle manner that we try to push in certain boundaries na not so common already, but has been a practice by those who went ahead of us. So, yun nga. So, keeping on a promise. Oo.
I like the fact that you have, I feel like, because this has been effective for me and my daughter too, affirmations. So I feel like that sounded like an affirmation. So you do that every day, and when you say it, it becomes you. It becomes a part of everything that you do, and it's not just about the Filipino martial arts training. It's also part of your everyday life. So let's talk about that, Ma'am Lalaine. Can you give me some examples of how the principles or mindsets of Filipino martial arts have seeped into the other aspects of your relationship?
I think related dun din sa sinabi ni Tuhon Jay na we seek for knowledge in our relationship. The glass will never be full eh, 'di ba? It will continuously laging ano yon, laging may space for us to learn. Not only to learn the arts but to learn each other, to learn although 23 years na kami together, but we still learn something new every day, di ba? And we also, second is we seek for knowledge.
Give our
We give
respect.
our respect. As a couple, we respect each other. We respect our, kahit na couple kami, meron kaming, we are individuals. We have our own, I am my own person, he is his own person. So I respect that. And he respects mine. So, I guess, doon namin na-apply yung, yung konsepto ng natutunan namin sa FMA
And
dito sa relationship.
I think it should be on a reverse. How it's not just how FMA affected us, but
The other way.
how our understanding of our lives in relation to FMA has woven itself, di ba, to our core. Oo. And then it echoes to relationships that we will build, relationships built. And ano, it is not a perfect thing. Ano, we
Yeah,
learn each
yeah, yeah,
other.
of
We
course.
learn from each other every day. Sometimes, di ba, may shutdown pa minsan. Ay, bakit ganyan? Pero end of the day, ano yan,
It's part of it.
it's part of it. And you respect the space that one is into.
Yeah.
We cannot force things. Oo. When pag
Mm-mm.
minsan pinwersa, hindi maganda.
Correct.
Oo. Kaya there comes training, there comes understanding,
Mm-hmm.
there comes respect. I mean, and then of course there comes love for that. No?
Oh, the core of everything is
Na,
heart.
pero yun, ano yun, in the heart of things, we do things passionately. Kailangan may puso, kailangan buo,
Yeah.
kailangan may tapang, kailangan may talino. Dahil kasi hindi pwedeng we talk about love, but we do not talk about consequences of it. We don't talk about strength without the softness of empathy, di ba? And compassion for each other, for the next person. So, hindi pwedeng wala yun. Oo. Be it sport, be it, it's a way of,
Balance, no?
it's a way of living for us. So, yun nga, nasabi ko kay Tuhon Arlene ito, I believe that, ano eh, though Pekiti siya was publicly taught and started by the Grand Tuhon in the United States, ano yan, there is a group of Filipinos here as well that was taught and were being taught by the Grand Tuhon who has stayed true to form, and held the system sacred as well. Oo. So, ano yan, let it not be said, meron din po dito sa atin na yun. Oo. Oh,
Yeah.
anyway, this is about ano yan, equal opportunity,
Right.
respect for each other. Hindi, she is more a teacher for me than me to her. Dahil kasi sounding board ko kayo eh. If I
Oh.
share something to Lalaine and it echoes back to me na pag hindi pala yun gusto kong i-express o sabihin, uh, I check myself.
Mm-mm.
Is my is my method wrong, or am I putting in the wrong emotion in
Right.
teaching? Dahil meron kaming relasyon as husband and wife. Eh. So hindi would that blur things or would that enlighten things? Yan ang checkpoint for me as somebody ahead of Lalaine in the journey of the martial arts, of the
Mm-hmm.
Filipino martial arts. So, yun ang mga mindful musing
Moments.
ko. I don't know for Lalaine,
Yeah.
pero ganun yung if she's frustrated pag na-frustrate siya na, hindi yan yung nakita ko eh. Hindi yan yung nakita ko sa YouTube, di ba? Hindi yan yung nakita ko kay di ba? I will try to
Stop. Okay.
no, I will try to not justify my emotion, but to let her understand where I was coming from as well. The strikes will never be predicated.
Mm. And it's not the same too, because we
No,
we we put ourselves into it. We put our personality into it too.
Yeah.
yeah, you need to own
True.
it. You need to
Yeah.
own it. No.
So you both learn from each other every day. And that's how it has strengthened your relationship in the Filipino martial arts as you grow together in your journey. So I'm curious about some funny stuff. Okay. Give me some funny stories or interesting story from your journey as a couple. Something that highlights the unique dynamics between you and your partner.
Parang ang lalim naman yun. No? Well, on the lighter side of things, it's I think I'd like to reminisce more on Lalaine's journey,
Uh-huh.
learning from the grandphone, and then to her training partners consistently. Hindi lang the female practitioners, but also senior people as well. Um, Pikitia would always have annual conventions with the Grand Tuhon.
Oh.
And one of those,
My first.
yung first convention that she officially joined in,
Mm-hmm.
ano, of course, you never go out, you never leave without sparring. Oh. And that is a must, diba? Oo. But here's the thing, Maria, with a
Opo.
community that you train with, that supports you, um, ano yun, the issue of taking courage
Mm-hmm.
will not be an issue. But
Okay.
I think it's more of ano yun, um, yung mga first fight jitters. Oo.
Right, right. We all feel that.
So I think Lalaine has been very blessed to be supported by the community. That there is one now. He is Tuhon Aditya Roy from India.
Oh,
Offered himself to be to spar with
Spar.
Lalaine.
spar. Mm-hmm.
Oh, no, of course, ano yan, it may be called a break-in fight or break-in spar or ano, but
Uh-uh.
ano he didn't realize, and he was so generous that he gives an opening for Lalaine. Oh, and then
Yeah. He would say, "Hit me, hit me."
oh, and then ang masaya, ano, uh, the crowd is wild. Hit him hard,
Hit him,
you know,
hit him.
and then footwork, di
Then
ba?
every time I hit him, they would start, "Yay!"
So ang saya, di ba? So
Uh,
this is the kind of community that you one seriously, it is a weapon-based art. It is not for the faint-hearted.
Yeah.
Training should be entered with a certain state of mind. You should
mm-hmm.
be safe. You should be ready. Hindi puro
Yep.
tapang, di ba? So
Right.
there should be skill involved. There should be also compassion involved. Dahil kasi if you always have the upper hand, diba? Yes, you go for the kill or you go for the final strike. At the end of the day, ano yan, you if the job is done, diba? You don't need to overdo things, diba? Oh, so may ganoon. So Lalaine has been blessed with that kind of experience. At,
No.
ano yan, ano yun, black and blue yan ha, may tama, may ano, di ba? So, di ba, even with
Yes.
protection, di ba,
Yeah.
that comes in, ano ang masaya nga dyan, ano
Part of it
Ouch.
na.
oo, parang merong kang
Mga latay.
badge of honor yung ano mo di ba? You have a badge.
Right, right, exactly. I call it that too, badge of honor.
Ang ano na lang, hopefully on the next issue, it should not be on the same place. Oo. Di ba? Dahil kasi
You should have learned from
you
that.
should have learned from
Yeah.
that. Di ba? Ano yan, the issue of getting hit
Yeah.
would be always a reality. But the thing is that if you'll always be hit on the same spot every time, the thing is the universe might be telling you something, girl. Di ba? You might be, you're not learning the lesson. Di ba? So, ganun kasaya. Oo.
Yeah,
So it
yeah.
is fun. The fun,
Yes,
the
it's,
fun, the fun side is that ano, it should be that.
And also, I feel like if you got hit, parang that's the all the more reason for you to you're gonna train. I don't wanna get hit again.
Exactly.
Right.
Ano yan? Those are the words, the same words of the Grand Tour. Ano yan? If you got hit, ano, you train for that to defend
Hashtag
yourself.
challenge.
No. Galing, tama yun. Tama yun. And that's the framework. That's a mindset as well. Oh. Pero yung iba, di ba, pag tinamaan ka, pag nasugatan, lalong nag-aalab. Di ba? So, kasama yun. Totoo yun.
Palaban.
Oo. But the thing is, as you mature, ano yan, you need to take it in also as a growing state for you, a state for learning to grow. Na hindi ka porke nakanti ka lang, di ba?
Yes.
Gaganti ka na, di ba? O
Yes.
you will ano yan, you will do ano yan, the Newtonian way, di ba? For every action there is an equal opposite
Equal
reaction.
reaction.
Di ba? In the world we live in, ano yan, wise men would always say otherwise. Di ba?
Choose your fight. Choose your battles.
Yeah. Totoo
Yeah.
yan. Totoo yan. Totoo yan.
Lalaine, how about you? Do you have any stories, funny stories that you could remember that you want to share? Aside from that experience, it's really fun.
What else?
With GT. With GT? Oh,
With GT?
Oh, you're training with GT? Oh, hindi funny
Hindi,
kasi yun.
hindi.
Funny. Ouch yun.
Yes.
Seryoso.
I feel like everyone who's been trained by GT is like, ouch, it's an ouch day.
And you should ask to on Lalaine. Arlene, to on Arlene.
Naalala ko na yung first time ko nag-convention, para ako nasa concentration camp, push up ako,
Hindi mo concentrate. Bootcamp naman, bootcamp. Concentration ka, parang ano.
bootcamp.
Oo.
Talagang, nakita niya ako, nagpo-push up ako doon, tapos, nag-duckwalk pa yata kami, or something.
Well, that is GT.
Yeah.
Right.
Hindi, pag walang ganong flavor, that's not training from GT.
Yeah.
But I think that's important too. You have to have that foundation.
You have to temper yourself.
Yes.
Yes.
All right. So how do you balance the dynamics of being partners in martial arts training with the dynamics of your personal relationship?
We just go with the flow. We just have fun. We do not overthink. We do not overanalyze. Of course, we understand. We try to understand yung movements, pero sometimes kasi when you overanalyze, mas lalong hindi mo makuha eh. Di ba? So, yun, we just try to learn from each other
Oo.
and
Uh-huh.
grow together in the arts and grow together as partners and as a person.
Mm-hmm.
Yun nga, we go back dun sa ano, ah, most often, ang victims of overthinking would be the new practitioners. Dahil kasi they want
Guilty.
something, they seek perfection. Di ba? So,
Right.
minsan, that is an illusion. Oo.
Uh-huh.
Kasi, ang ano dyan, each has own body mechanics eh. Di ba? Kaya minsan pag in terms of training, you do not start with a short weapon. You start with a long weapon. You fix your
Mm-hmm.
body mechanics. You fix the edges. No shortcuts. Diba? You go old school. For Pikititirsha, the progression will always be, of course, footwork would be foundation. But second is, if you have the space, you try to learn your sibak. And then with Sibat, you go progress to single stick, di ba? And then to double stick, and then to single stick, and single knife, and then double knife, and then espada daga, di ba?
Pampalit.
Oo. So, ganun. And then, empty hands. So,
Uh-huh.
pag sinabing for other martial arts outside of the Philippines, yung empty hands, yun ang first sa kanila to
Mm-hmm.
train. And then weaponry comes in last. Sa
Mm-hmm.
atin, weapons first.
Weapons, yeah.
Empty hands last. So pag ganun magkaiba yung methodologies talaga. 'Di ba? So ano yan, I could only speak dun sa side natin as Filipino martial artist. It that perspective that we do is not unique in itself. Ano yan, hindi naman pareho lang tayo sa ibang tao na dalawang kamay, dalawang paa, di ba? So the body mechanics won't differ as much, but yung ownership mo ng movement, yung certain
Mm-hmm.
flexibility, range of motion, and then that's where the science would come in, di ba? So,
Okay.
tapos
Which would work well for
yung
your
mindset would come in. So, your fundamentals, di ba? Sabi mo nga, the islands, 7,000 something plus. Oh, di ba?
641.
Diba? Ano yan? High tide, low tide, di ba? May ganyan pa, di ba? So, pag tinignan mo, it, that's the same number of how many permutations of
Okay.
systems or creation or innovations. It's for us to rediscover
Mm-mm.
ourselves as well. From one system to another. Di ba? Ang ano nga lang, mas maganda na you get an understanding or the coming from
Mm-hmm.
for you to appreciate. Oo.
Right, right. So, what are the strategies or approaches that have worked well for you too, in terms of your training? Maybe something that you could help other couples do in the future.
Openness,
Yeah.
we talk about it, di ba? Authentic,
Yeah.
train tayo, ganon. She's more, ano yan, OC on that end, di ba? Hindi parang, ano ang tuturo mo,
Yeah.
ganyan. Dapat there is a certain,
So,
ano,
for me kasi there's a certain structure na
Structure.
I need to learn. But then, he would suddenly change it. Change yung attack niya. Then he said, kasi nagkakabisote daw ako. You do not, di ba, parang, do not memorize the form. Feel the form. Um,
Oh,
Tapos,
okay.
that's when, syempre, of course, you have to start with the structure. You have to understand it. But eventually, wag ka mag-stick dun sa structure na yon. Kaya, minsan, bigla siya may ibang ipapasok. Titingnan yung
yung
muscle
response,
memory ko, yung response,
Right, right,
kung
right.
paano ko mag-respond. Hindi naman siya part nung, di ba?
Yung drill.
Drill, yeah. So I guess that really helped me a lot. on how to react dun sa mga iba-ibang situations
Attacks. Mhm.
o sa iba-ibang attacks. And sometimes,
Binabawian niyo po?
oo.
Oo, babawi.
Hindi, babawian ko siya outside, ako lang buka ngayon. So, ayun, I guess, that's one nice strategy for,
Openness. Just be open.
Yeah.
And then at the same time, if, yun nga, sabi nga ni GT, if you could give it, we should be able to take as well. Diba? So, ano yan, we are each other's ano sounding
sounding word.
boards.
Yeah.
Pag, I need to check on myself as well. Yan, sasabihin niya sa akin. Alam mo, parang it would not been better if you thought it this way dahil parang ang bilis kagad ng progression, yung gano'n. Parang nakakalimutan mo yata na
Parang beginner pa lang ako.
estudyante na, 6 na taon lang ako dito sa ano. Mga gano'n. Pero yon, I just need to be mindful and Lalaine grounds me on that one. Minsan, di ba, it's not always that you get some honest feedback.
Right.
Especially
I think
in a position of leadership. Most often, ano you're in an echo chamber, di ba? So, pag ganon and you don't check on yourself, and you get honest feedback from, I'm grateful to have Lalaine. Ano yan diretso hindi niya sabihin, ano yan, she will not sugarcoat
No
things.
sugarcoating.
It's it's a disservice pag ganun. It's not a strategy, it's not a tactic. I think it's born out of just be a good human being. Tingin ko that would work every time, anytime, all the time. You just don't discount that because this is a weapon art. At hindi kailangan ng puso dyan. Hindi kailangan ng utak dyan. Hindi kailangan ng all the more reason that you need to have temperance on aspects, soft skills. If you don't stand for something, diba, you'll pick up somebody else's stand for something else.
Okay. So now, because of that, I'm gonna ask you.
May prize. May prize.
You have a prize.
It's a prize. Parang may prize.
You just won the best couple award. So I'm curious. So we've talked about how you handle issues. How about how do you support and motivate each other? How do you do that?
We explore the arts together, no? And understand the arts together. And testing yung skills namin.
I mean, di ba, there are drills that we have specific to Petit Persia. We train together on that. Pero
Sometimes we even make our own drills
which is that alam mo that is something that needs that would happen naturally dahil yung unique yung tao you could train as much but at the same time the one that directs it would always be your mind, your feel, yung all the senses would have so ang dyan, if I change the tempo, would this be the same thing, diba? Would this be the same thing, diba? Would you respond according, diba? As you train for it, diba? So yan yung
we challenge each other to own the movements.
Yes, we need to own it. Diba? With understanding, and you could do forms very slow, di ba? As we start. Pero pag nag-up na yung ante, tumaas na yung adrenaline, will it still be there? Yung gano'n.
Hindi ako papatalo, di ba?
Oo.
Sasabayan ko siya.
Last, what tips or advice would you give to other couples who are interested in training together in Filipino martial arts?
Ano yun? Always seek good instruction. I mean, it could be, nothing beats face to face. So, but at the same time, if you don't have that leisure, online would be a good one, di ba? And at the same time, communicate your expectations as well. Or, or at least, you know your boundaries as well. Dahil kasi nga, for men, minsan it becomes very instinctive. For women, one should know one's boundaries in terms of training, that you're coming in on this aspect, and ano yan. If there would be something else that would as an adult, 'di ba, this should be done with mutual concern, with mutual consent, 'di ba? So no, for Pekiti no one should be a victim, 'di ba? Eh, you're training to have a mindset for life, health, and success. Means you're not setting yourself for failure. Diba? So given that one, ano yan, it takes time. It takes time for us to embrace every word, every deed, and ano yan, iba-iba ang tao. Diba? So as a couple, I think I'm grateful and I'm blessed also na dumating yung we're 23 years in marriage, pero 6 years past lang siya nag FMA. So but she has been very supportive since day one. So pag nakikita mo, ano yan, how, I don't know, has she seen something aside from the community that makes her passionate enough to train as well. She's more, ano yan, in terms of drilling herself, yung solo, ano yan, she'll even have a video and then, check nga, minsan nandun din ako. So, alam mo yun, I'm not just her only teacher. For Katipunan, she has been blessed to learn from the likes of Tuhon Mickey, be under the tutelage of Tuhon Bob Rodriguez. Ano yan, these are solid people in the Philippines for training. And ano yan, with that born friendships as well. So friendships that cuts across not just as teachers but as friends as well. We get to meet their families, yung ganon. And at the same time, we schedule family days as well. So yung community, it's not just about training. It's more enjoying the journey. And it's living a life that should be well lived.
When you start together, with Tuhon J, more senior na siya, ako beginner pa lang. There's this thin line kasi mag-asawa kayo eh. The way you talk to each other, the way you treat each other as husband and wife is different as to a student and teacher, no? And plus, having a background with another martial arts system, I would say na ang tip ko doon is empty the mind. Okay? Clear mo yung mind mo. Don't think of yung mga natutunan mo sa ibang system. Don't think na mag-asawa kayo na anytime pwede mo siyang awayin pag pag nasaktan ka. Pag may isipin nyo, just empty the mind. Absorb mo lang lahat. And as a student, may no?
May story
Oh my
agad.
gosh.
As a student, you just take it in, absorb it. and learn from it. Okay? Wag mo siyang aawayan after the training. Lower down your ego. Alam mo naman ang mga misis, di ba? And the husband, syempre, senior siya, husband siya, man of the house, di ba? I think, respect each other. And give the support that is needed by someone. Yeah. I will give him my support, and he also gives me his support to learn the arts. Okay.
All right. Thank you. Thank you for those wonderful knowledge.
Di-
Isang bagsak dyan.
pero alam mo, ano yan, I'm first time ko naririnig to and coming from and I'm grateful for that. Dahil kasi, ano yan in the world of Filipino martial arts, ano yan, testosterone driven tayo. Taas, it's machismo. I am, I come across as well with a lot of, well, a handful of groups, and specific to the women and other orientations as well. So pag nakita ko sila, and then and they try to figure it out as a separate entity, um, inisip ko minsan what are the motivations for that, and I always go back to the Kayumanggi race, na there was a time that we were very strong, um, as a community, and it says that the strength lies in the way things are. Oo, na hindi patriarchal, hindi matriarchal, at egalitarian. So yung like there is a certain respect for men and women, in leadership, in ways that feels unique and enhances one's strength, di ba? Not just as an individual, but as a community. So pag binabalikan ko yun, tapos yung nakikita ko yung relationship namin ng Lalaine, and then hearing it from her as well na, ano yan, she makes me a better man or a better person dun sa ganyan. Dahil kasi hindi, there is love in the relationship.
But before we go, do you have any um, upcoming trainings, or if you want to invite them to some seminars? If you have any upcoming seminars?
Well, I'd like to invite everybody that if there is an opportunity for you to come visit the country, the Philippines, love the Philippines is the tag right now, is that the Grand Tuhon, Leo Tigahe Jr., is very much around, very strong and very willing, able, and ready to take on students, and at the same time, let it be a pilgrimage of sorts for those who learned Pikititirsia, and to come home and get an opportunity to be at the feet of a master, which is the Grand Tuhon. For Katipunan, to my brothers and sisters, ang aming mga mahal na katipon sa Katipunan, let's come back. Let's come back to training. Let's come back to the community, and let's strengthen each other by not just in words but in deed.
Okay, now I want to close this down with a message. I want Lalaine to give to Honjay one sentence message only. One sentence. Your message to, yes, one sentence. Kaya nyo yan. Lalaine. Okay, your closing message to Honjay.
Dapat nakatingin.
Dapat ba nakatingin?
Sure! By all means.
Baka maiyak ako. Sandali.
Once kinat ko na nga, one sentence na lang eh.
No, I believe in you. And you know how much I love you.
And I love it.
Oh. Alright, Tuhon J, your one sentence message to Lakan Lalaine.
Titingin na naman ako.
Hindi dapat titingin yun. Thank you. The bottom. Salamat. Salamat. I just want to thank this side of the blade,
Oh, thank you.
and for you, Marya, for having us on the maiden
Maiden show.
maiden show, the maiden premiere, and of course to ano, you'd see strength behind the team with the likes of Tuhon, Arlene on board as well.
Yes, of
So,
course.
ano yan, she is a sister in the arts. She is a sister in as a fellow Tuhon in the system of Pekititir siya. Thank you so
All
much.
right. Thank you. This has been Marya de la Torre, and this is This Side of the Blade. Thank you, FMA Nation of the world. We're now signing off. Bye.